I'm here on Mettalworx.com with the one and only Abysseral Throne. And I think I actually introduced you guys like that on the last interview because I actually watched that to make sure I didn't ask you the same question twice. So how are you guys doing tonight?
Very good.
We are fantastic.
Excellent. We are very excited.
Yes, tonight is their CD release for their, so it's basically like your third release.
Yeah. Our third release, it's
our first release.
Ignore the rest of the stuff. Reset, yeah.
First real release.
This is like our first legitimate, like, taking it to the next level release.
They're taking it to the next level. All right, now one thing that I actually didn't ask you the last time, and I'm just going to dip back before we talk about the actual EP. Where did the band name come from?
Nobody really knows, actually.
When I was in 6th grade, about 400 billion years ago, there was a friend of mine named Chase, and he had a idea. We were in a band called Hell Stallion, which it wasn't a real band, but the name was cool as hell. Anyways, he said, "Man, we should write a song called Abysseral Throne," and I was like, "Wow, that's cool." And yeah, that's, I don't know, kind of stuck. Like, I'm not a big fan of it now. It's not a real word, and I feel like an idiot, but
it is what it is.
When people ask me what it means, I'm like, it means a visceral throne in the water. I don't know. It just sounds really cool and evil.
Yeah, whenever I'm kind of questioning whether I have got it spelled right, like, they never help me because, like you said, it's not really a real word. So Abysseral's always going to have the little red squiggly line underneath it.
Well, a funny story actually is a lot of people know that there's a band called Abysseral Throne from Montreal. Toronto. And when we first started the band, we kind of saw them. We're like, oh, fuck those guys. We're never really going to meet them anyway. So we were playing with this band called Vesperia. And their guitar player comes to us and he's like, hey, you guys are cool. I used to be in a band called Abysseral Throne, so at that point I was like, fuck. He's totally going to call us out on it. But then he was really cool with it, and he like brought a shirt to show us, and it's kind of like, fuck,
yeah, we got busted, like, he called us out for sure.
Yeah, but at least where you're the newest member, you can kind of be like, wasn't me.
Yeah, complete ignorance, like, before my time.
Hey,
wipe my hands clean.
To be fair, it wasn't me either. I didn't name the band. My friend Chase did.
Blame Chase. All right.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, now speaking of you being the newest member of the band, since we talked last, which was really a couple of years ago, you've made the change. Matt's come in playing bass now.
Is that really a change? Matt came in and played bass.
Yeah. I'm Matt 2.0. I have a longer beard. It's an upgrade.
Okay. Different dynamic with him coming in any way, or did he kind of?
Oh. Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say like, oh, is it better now? No disrespect to any previous members, but whenever somebody does come in, there is a change. No matter how much you kind of want there to be or whatever, it's going to happen. So what different dynamic did he bring in?
If you haven't noticed, we completed our EP. No disrespect to old Matt. We're still very good friends with him. Just wasn't a good work ethic schedule. Like, it didn't match with what level we wanted. As soon as he came in, I said, like, well, we're going to have to spend some money here. And he's, oh, yeah, no problem. So we have, since then, well, we have an EP out. We have a completely different live setup. We have plans to write another album, which are, like, pretty much going to happen. We have plans to possibly move, and not possibly, we're going to move to a different city, which will be named shortly. And it's only going to go up from here, really.
Okay, right on. Okay, now, talking about like the actual style of the band, I mean, like we were kind of joking around about it the last time, and kind of what you guys described it. But I mean, like the most common term is black metal, and I think that's kind of very prominent in your sound. But there's a lot of other stuff going on in there. You guys aren't just a straight like Emperor sounding type band. I mean, there's a lot of different stuff in there.
Yeah, definitely. I personally don't like trying to draw like direct comparisons of my own music to other bands, because then you subconsciously compare bands. But there's definitely a lot of influence of black metal, heavy metal, like a lot of different kind of shit. And but I think for the most part we've just kind of played what we enjoyed, and what we think sounds good to us and is fun to play, and we think other people will enjoy. So I mean, yeah, there's definitely that black metal influence, but as far as like what we're influenced by, I think it's a number of different things. And yeah,
it's not so much like what we want to sound like, but how we want to, what we want to, like the atmosphere we want to give. So like we all listen to a lot of black metal, we all listen to a lot of thrash metal, but we never are gonna sound like any of those bands. Like we want to just be like just a heavy force and just fun music to bang your head to, or maybe even just get lost in a little bit of atmosphere.
In short, it's basically metal for metalheads by metalheads, you know? Like we just want to play what we like to listen to, basically.
I mean, you guys definitely have the intensity of all those styles that you just mentioned. All right, so now let's get to the EP. All right, so Storming the Black Gate, brand new EP being released officially tonight. You guys have had it be streamed a little bit. I was very fortunate to be able to get a copy about a month ago, and you know, to be completely honest, I'm not the biggest black metal fan, but when it is mixed with other things, I can get into it, because like, oh, okay, this is different, and I love the EP. Now, you also mentioned about the time that it took. It didn't take you guys very long. It was like, what, a weekend, like 3 days or something to record this?
So it was written 3 years ago. Like that's the reality. So it's not like we wrote it overnight or anything. We've been sitting on it for a really long time, like way too long, honestly.
But
recording it, it didn't take very long, because we were very well prepared, and that's a lot thanks to that guy right there, honestly. Yeah.
I did all the pre-production demos, all the click tracks, all like mapping everything out. I was all in charge of that, more or less. And yeah, like it was 3 months solid of everyday jams to the click, like me and this guy, like no matter what time of day, night, anything, we just made it happen. And yeah, that like we practiced our balls off, basically.
3 a.m. jams happened way more than once.
Yeah, due to schedules and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Were there other songs that were considered to be put on here, or did you guys basically just go in with what you had finished at the time?
There was a few ideas that never really came to fruition yet. We're still working on them, like you will hear them in the future. But other than that, yeah, it was pretty well just basically we got these songs written, and then we were like, hey, these are the ones we're going to release. And yeah, it was pretty straightforward.
And I mean, like, it wasn't just accidental either. Like, we wanted to release these songs because we felt like these songs didn't really like flow as a narrative. They flow as songs, like when you put them together, I find, but they don't really like. It's not similar to our first album. Like, I think our next release is going to be sort of similar to our first album, where like it sounds like it's an album versus just a bunch of different ideas. And really, the different ideas were more or less like to help us find our own sound.
Any favorites from the album? I know, like, they're all like kids, and you know they're an extension of yourself, so it's hard to. But you know, anything that kind of edges.
For me, I think Wolfthorn is probably my favorite to play live, because it's pretty mid-tempo, just kind of it's a headbanger really, and it's just more of a like when you play it live, it's more of a crowd dynamic. It's easy to interact with the crowd, and with Haste for Damnation's. That's a really fun one to play too, but those are my favorites.
My favorite's definitely They Will Return. I wrote all the lyrics for it. It's all about Pet Sematary, which is the scariest movie I ever saw. It really took me to like a dark place. I had to rewatch it. I had to reread some of the parts. It freaked me the absolute hell out, and it turned into a really, really awesome song. And a big thanks to Matt Jenkins for writing a lot of those riffs.
Yeah, for me, there's probably two songs that are like my favorites. Number one would be Tempestus, which I co-wrote. It's my only writing credit on the album because I came in late. And Storming the Black Gate, the title track, I just really love the bass work. It's super fun to play. Like, it's just a great song, I think.
Right on. Okay, now one thing I wanted to kind of bring back, and it was actually something that I kind of caused that you guys said you guys got a good chuckle out of. Well, what was there? There was something I posted on Facebook while you guys were in the studio, and it was. Do you remember that picture of that? Like in the music store, and instead of saying Yngwie Malmsteen, yeah, Ingstein Malmsteen or something.
It was like
Yeah, it was actually Ingstein Malmsteen.
Yeah, Ingstein Malmsteen. We were losing it. Like everybody was laughing at that so hard. Like oh my god.
Yeah. We were just cracking right the hell up, and I mean, it's in the studio. We were like doing 14-hour days. We're tired, but just I don't know. I think I'm the one that's happened upon it, like in my Facebook feed. I'm like, guys, just look at this, and everyone in the studio just cracked right the hell up.
You had one job, HMV.
Yeah, but it's also good to have one of some of those moments of stupidity just to kind of like lighten the moment and kind of get some stuff going.
Honestly, recording the EP was probably the funnest time I've ever had, like being involved in music so far. Like, it was just great for me anyway.
Let's be real here. Every moment with us is fucking moment of stupidity.
It's magical in every way, Sean.
If you talk to Lewis, who comes with us to a lot of shows, he tells some good stories for sure. We definitely have some good chats.
All right. How about any music videos? Any thoughts about doing anything like that, or is that something still a little ways down the road?
Like we're definitely like thinking about doing like a lyric video. Like we're trying to do a lot of the stuff ourselves, so obviously save some money and whatnot. But it's not quite there yet.
Yeah, like there's been some talks there, like me and him late at night, like, hey, we should do this probably, and I'm like, well, okay, I guess I'll learn how to do that and see what happens.
Yeah.
And so,
A good idea at 3 a.m.
yeah,
And then 2 albums later, when we were talking about such and such, whatever happened to that? Yeah.
Like the literal way I describe his and I's relationship is like I'm like the director and he's the producer. Like I'm like, hey Matt, I got this great idea. I don't know how to do it, but you can make it happen. And he's like, oh, all right, I'll make it happen. We gotta do this and this.
there were so many late nights. Like, I ended up doing the album layout and stuff for the EP, like the physical, and like that was an all-night headache of me just trying to like learn as I go, and it turned out great, thankfully. But like, yeah, there's just so many random ideas that we have, and we just like, yeah, let's do that, okay, and then we do it, and it's just like, bam.
Like we had absolutely no not interest, but we had no plans to do any kind of merch for this EP at all, other than the physical albums. And then it was just like, hey, let's do shirts. Hey, let's do pins. Let's do posters. Like it's just like, okay, I'll make it happen, Matt. See ya.
Yeah, if there's any one thing that bands should do, even if you're just putting a white logo on a black shirt, do something, because there's going to be people that will wear it and will advertise your band, and then that can grow into something else. Merch is like literally the smartest idea you can do.
We always had merch. It was just like, this has been a costly experience for us. So like
the funds were in short supply there. Like we weren't really sure that we had the funds available to do merch, but we ended up just being like, no, like we have to. Like when we released the album art, a bunch of people were like, oh man, when are you doing shirts of that?
Yeah.
We need shirts of that.
Like,
and we're like,
oh, shit, okay.
Well, we have no choice. We have to. Like, we'd be idiots not to. Like we hope we sell a lot of those.
Speaking of that, my next question is, who did the album cover?
So that would be Mark Richards from Heavy Hand Illustrations, and he totally knocked it out of the fucking park.
Yeah, it does look really good. I was kind of expecting, you guys to go the same route that you did before with Kogi Greenway, who's awesome.
There's 3 names up for the art for this EP. And we obviously didn't initially want to spend a lot of money or whatever, but anyways, so it was gonna be it was Koki Greenway, of course, who's done artwork for us, and he's awesome. There was Andrei Buzakov, who's he did Skeleton Witch and stuff like that, and we're a really big fan of his as well. And then there was Mark, and I thought Mark would probably do the most different kind of job, because he's got a really hand-drawn style. Like when he sends sketches and whatnot, it's all actually pencil sketches, very, very detailed, amazing stuff. So he was the first one to respond, so he got the job. And then
Fair enough. Yeah.
literally 1 week later, Blackmore puts out their album, and it's Andrei Buzikov, and I'm like, thank God we didn't do Andrei, because we did Koki when they did Koki, and we just
Well, actually, like they did Koki, then you guys, then we did it. so I was like,
Koki's great.
but yeah.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely. Hopefully, we'll work with Mark again. Like he was into our stuff, and he was a really cool guy to talk to, and he was great.
He was completely willing to work with our ideas and everything. Like we were like just overall 100% just impressed with what he was able to do, and just like the way he conducts business. Like, you know, he was great to work with.
Well, ultimately, I think for an album cover, especially, like you want the band's vision, because it's really, I mean, like you guys are doing the inside, so you guys should really be dictating what's coming on the outside, and it should be them trying to capture that as good as they possibly can. So, you know, that's at least me coming from a musician's point of view, looking at it. Maybe I'm wrong, but
I mean, we really wanted to like kind of embody the old '90s, the black metal ones. And actually, honestly, just the works of Christian Wayland from. He's done like the. Oh my God, he's done Emperor, Dissection. He's done work for the Black Dahlia Murder, for Nocturnal. He's done a bunch of great stuff. So like when we like obviously like we're not gonna ask him because like he'll probably say no, but like I told Mark that that's what we were looking for, and I wanted to reference every spot of the EP, every individual song, and he totally just nailed it.
awesome. I mean, as long as you guys are happy in the end, that's all that matters, really.
100%. We're just completely happy with how it turned out.
Yeah.
All right, so now, like, it wouldn't be a Mettalworx interview without, you know, like a few quirky kind of, no penises on this one. Thanks, Skullfist. Still our most watched interview.
Watching that one the other day. It's pretty funny.
I was watching that one late at night.
I'll bet you were. Okay, now first, kind of a semi-serious one. What band that isn't around anymore, now it could be a deceased member, it could be they just don't like each other or whatever, but what band that isn't around anymore would you guys like to see do a reunion?
The Beatles.
Either Emperor or Dissection. Actually, I would like. I mean, obviously, you know, John's dead, so I would really would have loved to have seen Dissection in the flesh for sure.
I have to second that, actually.
We played with a band from Sweden that actually did see Dissection. It was really cool. That was a pretty cool story.
Yeah, it was Christoph from Screamer, and he said when he was 13 he had met John Nordveit from Dissection, and he went up and was like, hey, you guys should play on Hallowed, and then I guess John Nordveit told him, if you spill some blood, we will. And so he was kind of like, okay.
Wow, geez, I'm like completely blanking here.
So far, they've dissected the Beatles. So.
No, yeah. I don't want to be lame and say Dissection as well. Like that would be pretty lame of me. I don't know, Emperor, I guess. Go with Emperor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they did just do like a run of those festival shows a couple years ago, which was kind of cool.
Well, yeah, and they actually
they did a bunch of festivals. Like it was kind of like, I mean, maybe not a bunch, but I know there was at least two. Yeah, there was at least two that they did.
Oh, I
guess
wish.
I'll change my answer then to Bathory. Like, yeah.
Second that again.
You know what? I'll third that. We all
love Bathory.
We all love Bathory.
Okay, all right. Now
I changed mine. It's Skeleton Wish with Chance Garnett. That's it.
Oh.
Done. Go ahead. That's it.
Okay.
That's the be all to end all.
All right. Now going back to the music video. Now this is now we're into the stupid stuff. If you were to film a music video while you guys are on an amusement park ride, playing your instruments on the ride while shooting the video, what ride are you going to be on?
I don't really know of any rides, to be honest. A roller coaster? I don't know. No, I got it. The Ebola coaster. I don't know.
I would be on a tilt-a-whirl, throwing up all over myself with like hitting my drum skins, and maybe other skins too, and like just throw up everywhere in my face.
That's what I was thinking, because like whoever's filming could be there and then everybody be like, I mean, like you'd have to have your feet strapped to the thing, but then like I mean, you get like a different member every couple seconds. It would be awesome.
You would have to eat like the most nastiest food to get like the best puke, like to get like pea soup puke or something like that, and just like
Exorcist type thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, it'd be fucking tilt-a-hurl all over the place.
We all just film a thing in a tilt-a-hurl. Yeah.
One take, you fuck it up, that's it.
Yeah.
For me, it would have to be a merry-go-round. I want to look like super fabulous. My beard flowing in the wind. Yes, exactly.
Total Manowar music video.
Absolutely. That's my vision.
Maybe in like king's robes or something.
Absolutely. 100%.
All
All about it.
right.
Okay, so for the last one, say you're performing at a Halloween show. So everybody's got to dress up, but
Been there, done that, Bill.
but you are in charge of each other's costumes. So who would you dress up and what would you dress them up as? Not physically dress them up, but you got to choose the costume.
Oh, that's no fun. I'd probably dress up as fuck, I don't know.
You
Like,
have to dress somebody else up.
Yeah.
I'll dress you guys all up as Oprah, and I guess I would dress up as like Donald Trump or something, just something super offensive that would make everyone cry. That's what I would do. What about you?
I don't know yet. I'm still thinking.
Yeah, this is a tough question. Jeez. I'm gonna dress Sean up as just a dill pickle because reasons. There you go.
With no arms and he still has to drum. Huh?
You mean you're gonna undress him and he's still gonna look like a dill pickle? Yeah.
Prove your worth.
My pickle is always dilled.
Yeah, dill don't.
I'm gonna dress Johnny up as the dildo, and if you don't know what that is, it's a dildo with spikes and horrible things coming out of it, and he can go up Matt's asshole. That's it.
I'm sure we have more than one viewer that's probably thinking, "Oh, I'll stick anything anywhere." I'm not naming any names.
It's loosely.
All right, but seriously, definitely pick up the brand new EP, Storming the Black Gate. It kicks ass. I already reviewed it. I'm going to have some footage after this. So definitely check out Abysseral Throne when they're in your area. Abysseral Throne, Mettalworx.